Hey everybody, Dave here, and we're going to be talking about Noctiluca, designed by Shem Phillips and published by Z-Man Games. And I just got finished filming the solo playthrough for this game, so if you want to check it out, make sure you click the link. I'll have it in the video description below, or a little card will be up on the screen. And this is a really unique dice drafting game in which players are trying to collect these various Noctiluca and filling them up in jars. And so before I talk about the gameplay, let me talk about the production quality itself. And you've got a ton of these little translucent dice. They're really nice, and they lend to an interesting look on the board, seeing that the artwork kind of has them sort of this glowing thing. These look pretty cool, and we've got a nice pleasant artwork on the game board and on the cards. So, and I believe that the production value, we've got these little pawns, they're fine, and we've got sturdy cardboard tokens that look nice as well. So I think overall we've got a really nice production value for this game. And the rule book is done very well. We don't have that many pages. Again, this is only really a 4-page rule sheet, and that includes how to play the solo game on the back. So literally, here's the front with the components, and then here's how you play the game, 2 pages, so you're up and going. Now, despite the simple rules, this game, it seems like a lot more than how the game would appear. If you were to walk by and see this game being played on the table, you're like, I'm not really sure what's up with this. It could look like a family game. The box itself makes it look like a family game, and it could be played by families. However, this game gets your brain thinking a bit, because you have to strategically collect the Noctiluca that you need to have in your jars. And typically we would have 2 jars going on here, so I'll just pull up the second one. So you're looking for specific things to try and fill these jars, and you have a few things that you have to worry about. Number one, you want to score points for your favorite type of Noctiluca. So this turn, or this game, I had blue ones. So yes, it would be nice to be able to collect blue Noctiluca, but when we're looking at the board and how we go about getting them, that's the challenge, because when I place my pawn, I have to look and see what spaces are available on the board, and then choosing a direction and a number and gathering up what's available. Now, what I take, anything that I don't use in the solo game gets lost to the Tempest, and I'm going to lose a point for each one of those. But in a multiplayer game, they're going to be passed to the player on my left. They could actually, if there's something that they can use, they could take one, put it in one of their jars, and then those get passed around again until they all get used, or if nothing can be used, and they get discarded. But the interesting thing with that is then, players can, if that happens, players can actually fill jars when it's not on their turn, and they'll be able to snag points out from under you if possible. So you have to worry about being able to fill the jars. That's one, so how you get them is an interesting in and of itself. And then you have to worry about the majorities for each of the jar types, because you're going to want to be able to get the bonus tokens, and at the end of the round, or the end of the game, whoever has the most of a specific color will be able to take the remaining stack and turn them over to 1 point and grab them. And you see there's a lot of them over here. This one particular jar color, these brown jars, they had the Tempest had 3, I had 2, so they had the majority. They took the rest of the stack, got a bunch of points. So it's interesting to see, what are you going to do? And then on top of it, like in a multiplayer game, there will be 3 stacks of these jars available for you to select from. Whereas here, we're drawing 2 and selecting 1. What you're choosing to try to collect is going to have a big reflection about what's available on the board. And then we're looking here at the game towards the end, and if you still see, there's a number of orange dice out here, there's purple ones out here. Sure, it would be nice to have these to try to grab them, but unfortunately, that's not what I had to work with. But I think it's just an interesting game in and of itself of how you're going to draft these dice, collect them up, place them in your jars in order to score points. So it makes for a very, very unique game play experience. I really, really enjoy it, and I think that this one does well. You know, multiplayer, it's going to depend upon the number of pawns each player gets per round to play. So, you know, when you're playing in a 2-player game, each player is going to get 6 pawns. If you're playing in a, you know, for different player counts, you're going to maybe have less turns, you know, than others. But still, you only have 2 rounds to play the game in order to collect all of these Noctiluca to fill your jars. But I think that, you know, the gameplay says 30 minutes. I think for 30 minutes you have quite a bit of game here to be able to enjoy. So I think that if you're looking for something that's unique, that's like a dice drafting / set collection, then Noctiluca would be a game that you'd want to check out. Now, if you didn't get a chance to see my playthrough, again, make sure to check the link in the video description below. I'll have a link there. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.